Jets Drive premiere. I'm ready to run through a brick wall. New York Jets are coming for the ring. Boys and girls, I want to talk a little recap action from One Jets Drive. It's the first time we got to see this iteration of the series. Very, very excited. You got to see Rodgers playing golf, talking about legacy, talking about, lots to accomplish. Quinnen Williams is a family man. You got to see AVT, Sauce, the bling. Oh, man, so much to get into. So, boys and girls, make sure you hit that like button on the way in. I am very, very excited to talk to you guys today. So let's hop right into it. Right off the bat, first thing I noticed, I think it was at like the 220 mark in the episode, Michael Clemons doing yoga. If there's one guy on this team that needs yoga to make sure he doesn't go and just snap people in half, it's Michael Clemons and his Lucille bat. That's what I saw. Lots of energy. Lots of energy. So we start off with Aaron Rodgers playing golf, wearing all the tailor-made stuff. I absolutely love that. The driver he's got, I've got that one in my bag as well. And I've got the custom jet green, which Rodgers, you got to add that to the arsenal. So if you want to get a nice new custom club, talk to your boy. We'll get it hooked up. So yes, very much like that. I thought it was fun seeing him see all the fans out there. Thought that was a lot of fun. You could tell there's just a different feeling about him. He talks about, as a kid, he moved around a lot and he was able to reinvent himself and kind of be who he wanted to be to some sort of an extent. And coming to New York has allowed him to revamp himself. I mean, think about it. When he was in Green Bay, the last few years, he was labeled selfish. He wanted his money. Which I understand, but he clearly doesn't want to win. Devontae Adams leaves. There wasn't enough money for him to sign and all this stuff. So there's a lot of sort of negative connotation around some of what Aaron Rodgers was. And the Jets were trying to get this guy. He's a little bit older. People are kind of freaking out what are you going to get? Is he going to be fully committed to camp? Dude hasn't missed a practice. He's been at all the offseason activities. He's taken Zach under his wing. Absolutely love everything this dude is providing to us. And saying he's got so much more to accomplish, I think he realizes hey, this team's ready to go. I want to be in New York. He's embraced the city. I mean, he was saying he went to Wicked, the MSG for the Knicks game, the Rangers game, the different concerts. T Swift talking about the Jets have won the Super Bowl. Oh, Aaron Rodgers, eat my heart out right now. Love it. What else we got? We've got Quinnen Williams. We get to see a little bit of the insight into him signing his contract. I shouldn't say insight, but just more of the human aspect of Quinnen Williams. He is such an easy player to like. Just always a smile. I don't know if I've ever seen Quinnen frown. I feel like even when he's at his absolute worst mental state, this dude's probably got a shit-eating grin from ear to ear. I love seeing him as a family man. I've got my daughter coming in literally 2 days. Baby girl number 2 coming Wednesday morning. So to see Quinnen push the stroller in there and love the skin-to-skin action with his new daughter, I thought it was really cool to see him be a dad. And I could totally relate the 4:30 a.m. feed. You're feeding the baby every 3 hours. Ladies, you guys, Becca, I'm talking to you. You're a champ for putting up with all of us. Heck, just filming Jet stuff for me. This is she's probably going nuts. I can't imagine what Quinnen's wife's going through, having to this dude's going to war every day. But it's cool to see him have that dad respect. He talks about how football was easy to him. He was good at it. That's why he played. Now there's another level. There's more responsibility that gets put on your shoulders when you have someone else to play for. And that's not to say you weren't playing for your wife or whatever it was, but having a family and having to care for that child, I feel is such another level of oomph to the mental state, the passion that goes into the game. And Quinnen saying, the Jets trusted me for these next 4 years. The Jets have put their trust in me. I feel that's really important. When you're putting that much money into a player, you're saying this is the type of player that embodies a New York Jet. This is the guy that you want to have the rest of your players follow into war. You want to have the attitude, the work ethic, the character. Everything about this is awesome. Quinnen is the perfect player to pay in my opinion. He says he doesn't like being the center of attention, which is a really cool trait to have because you get a lot of diva-type players that want it all about themselves. And it doesn't feel like this team as a whole is like that. Like, obviously, Sauce is quite the character with the cheese head last year, the number 8 chain that he gives to Rodgers. So there's definitely some marketability for sure. But this team overall feels like they've bought into the message that Robert Saleh is portraying. They're buying in to the work ethic and the way they train like Rodgers. And just every rep, you want to win every single rep. Even like the coaching staff, you hear Carter talking about like, yo, you want to hit this dude in the mouth. You want to throw your hands like right in. That's where you generate the power. Like, come on. What else? I love the bless you, thank you pen that Quinnen's agent gave him to sign the paper. Thought that was cool. I know we saw that in the picture early on. We got to hear Quinnen drafted again, seeing all like the footage from that. That was always really neat. And to think that like that's where we came from. Like there were a lot of fans that were not like crazy about the Quinnen selection. I remember, sitting there being like, man, edge rusher would be kind of cool. But man, this guy Quinnen, he runs so fast for an interior defensive lineman. This guy's going to be special. They're talking Aaron Donald type numbers. And this guy gets the highest second contract of any player, any defensive tackle in the NFL. Rightfully so. The guy's gotten better each and every year. Let's see. Family man. So I said Quinnen and obviously the new daughter, but having Quincy on the same team. When we saw Quincy get re-signed, 3-year contract, seeing Quinnen, and the family too, like Miranda Williams, his wife, just talking about, you get to keep the family together. You get to have Christmas together. Everyone comes over and like, you get to keep that dream alive, at least for the next few years. And I can only imagine having a family member that you get to play a professional sport with, let alone like a dude that hits like a heat-seeking friggin' missile in Quincy Williams. And then Quinnen, just both on the same side of the ball too. Like everything about the Quinnen Williams family man, it makes me smile. It makes me want to, obviously I'm always going to root for the Jets, but having players that I feel like you could almost look up to or be proud of, and Quinnen Williams is that for me. You can be proud of this player. Talks about legacy, Hall of Fame, great person, and great character. Those are the traits that he wants to embody, both within himself, his family, this team, and I think it's starting to rub off on everyone. I really, really like that. You get to see AVT. They talk about him and the injury coming back from, the torn triceps, how we were going on a run for, 4 in a row at that point. 5 in a row? I think it was 5 in a row after the Denver game. Then he winds up getting hurt. Torn triceps. Brutal. But you see him being more powerful, talking to the other players, and he's just like, yo, dude, you're like the best I've ever seen. It's like, all right, AVT, I'm ready. This guy looks like he's ready to go. He says he feels great. He's had so much time to rehab. You get to see Richie in there? Dude, Richie was all fired up. I love it. Every time I watch Richie, I get jazzed up. I could sit and watch clips of Richie just going off on stuff, and it makes me so happy. I think I've been with Richie at each of the training camps. Actually, Richie and I got tickets for the next 3, so if you guys want to check us out, we should be there. Possibly. Like I said, I got baby 2 coming in 2 days, so I reserve the right to maybe not possibly be at those practices, but very much hoping I will be. You get to see... Oh, man, I jotted down a note, and now I don't know what it was. I think it was Quinnen talking to Rodgers about Laken Tomlinson and some sort of tick that he has that Quinnen picked up on. And Rodgers goes, you going to tell Laken? And he's just like, yeah, I'll talk to him. And Rodgers like, I'll go talk to him right now. Like, I don't want your ass sacking me. Bless you. Thank you. Sauce giving Rodgers the chain, the big number 8 around the neck. I hope they make those as like novelty pieces because my ass can't afford a diamond 8 chain, but I would love to have one. Little piece. Very cool. Very, very cool. So I want to hear what you guys have to say about everything that we got to see tonight. David drops in. David says, my boy and one of my top Jets YouTuber. Thank you, David. Much appreciated. Glad you're in here. Dude, I could watch One Jets Drive all day. I can't wait till we get Hard Knocks tomorrow. Like, how are we supposed to have this much content? It's so great. I'm not going to get anything done. I'm just going to be watching stuff, highlights, clips, everything. R&R says everything was great with the yoga. Right, Clemons coming in with the yoga at the beginning. I thought there was no better person to like have trying to calm themselves down is the guy with the Lucille baseball bat ready to go to war. Guy Fisher says he's just watching it. Let us know what you think after that. JT says I have goosebumps and a raging election. Guy Fisher says we need a bona fide tackle. Offensive line was definitely highlighted a little bit. They got to decide what type of team they want to be. They were talking about that. Cody talking about Quinnen when he got mad at the coach during the Bengals game. That's right. He was not too happy for that. That was definitely a little more aggressive. Upset with the way they're playing. Upset they were blitzing so much. Him and DJ Reed, I believe, were the two players that kind of went off. And the defense like skyrocketed after that. So they clearly had some of the correct things. Becca, love you, girl. Glad to see you in here. Fair C says, God, that toe tap catch at the end hyped me. Those smiles on Rodgers' face say it all. Yeah, the Garrett Wilson toe tap at the very end was such a cool like play to watch and to see like where this is going to go with Rodgers. Like you're talking about Devontae Adams level production from Garrett Wilson. That's what you're going to see. And to see the ball get put in the perfect position every single time is just really, really cool. Kyle says, sorry, Ryan, I have to watch you later. I didn't watch One Jets Drive yet. God bless Jesus on the way. It's okay, Kyle. Make sure you check out everything afterwards. Leave a comment down below the video so that way we get to see what you thought of it. Ferris says, seeing Richie was awesome. Dude, as soon as I saw him pull up, I was like, oh! I was like just talking to him on the phone, and to see it happen was just really, really cool. Tigo says, he's hard as diamonds. Love it. Jets Fan United, dropping in here. Hey, fellas. Good time. Scott says, when you have a player like Quinnen who can win battles from the interior, you have playmakers tearing it up from the edges. This D-line is going to be freaky. This is going to be the new era of sack exchange. It's going to happen. Ferris is saying, anyone want to run through a brick wall? I actually ran through 3 walls just to get into this room, and I decided, hey, I don't want to repair the back end of the studio. I'm going to come through the door this time. But I'm sorry, Becca. Literally everything, every wall from the TV room to here just is no longer standing. Says, how's everyone's third leg? Mine's standing strong after that episode. Yeah, no pills needed, baby. George says he made the video. There you go. I was at the very end of the video. It was the first day of practice. You'd have to freeze frame because it's very much not anywhere remotely close to like looking at me, but I'm in the stands. You can see me. I was like, oh, I'm the little Mike Wazowski from Monsters Inc. The little thing that pops up. He's like, oh man, I'm on the cover. Brad says, sorry, Ryan. I'll try to see you live, but I'm on vacation. That's okay. Enjoy your vacation, my friend. Fair C says 6 primetime games is going to have me flying across the living room. I'm going to be stretching out. Luckily, my house is kind of like a square with like a center that all the rooms kind of connect on the outside. So I can like stick my arms out and do the run around pilot like I'm going to be taking off. Scott says Clemons doesn't strike me as a namaste type guy. No, he definitely doesn't. He seems like a, deranged lunatic. The fact that he has that inner peace is really, really cool. Fungus Among Us says, love seeing Method Man, excited for this year. It's nice because like you see not starting to see celebrities. You always saw him around, but like it's going to be cool to see how many bandwagon celebrity fans ultimately come onto the stage. Like we've always seen, Kevin James and Adam Sandler and Method Man and all those guys out there. But who else is lurking in the background? You're all allowed. Kilted says, honestly, still pinch myself when you listen to A-Rod talking about the AFC East and getting a home playoff game. Yeah, dude, it's like, it still doesn't feel real. Still doesn't feel real. Mitchell says, jet up from enemy territory, West Palm Beach. Oh, dude, definitely an enemy territory down there. Justin, is Von Miller going to play week 1? He got hurt, I think it was around Thanksgiving, so it's probably going to be pretty close. I would like to say I hope not, but I don't know for sure. Broken Heart Tattoo says, just finished watching One Jets Drive. Oh, yeah. Let us know what you think. Okay, Yeti. Oh, the chat is divided on the poll. Hey, everyone. Good to have you in there. Yeah, for those guys that are just hopping in, what is your favorite part of episode 1? It's like a dead heat tie. 25%, 32%, 22, and 22%. So right now, Quinn and Family Man is leading the way at 32%. You got Rodgers Bling from Sauce at 25%. And then splitting the vote at 22%, you've got Clemons doing yoga and Quinnen and Sauce with the Shaq and Kobe comment. I thought was really, really cool to see. Guy Fisher talking about the toe tap video. Meth and Aaron autographs. Yeah, I guess I could have put that on there. I didn't throw that in the chat. Aaron throws the ball like he's tossing catch. It seems effortless watching him throw. Like being at camp and seeing him just flick his wrist and watching it come out like a heat-seeking missile, like accurately. Like we got to see like Zach rip a ball, but the way Rodgers does it, it's just finesse the entire time. Very cool. Guy says he's waiting to see Michael Clemons tear it up. I can't wait to see what they have on him in Hard Knocks. I'm curious to see how active he is at the beginning part of this. Slim says opening night is going to be an absolute movie. Cannot wait. I'll be there week 1 with Tigo and some of the boys. Blewett's going to be there. Tigo says Talking Jets with Tigo celebrates 4 months of membership. We all signing up for yoga after because of Clemons. I shouldn't say I do yoga consistently. I do not do yoga consistently, but Becca does a yoga challenge at the beginning of every January, and I have taken part in that sort of yoga challenge because I am not flexible. So having like my back stretched out a little bit, doing a little like quiet time on a yoga mat, recommend it. Recommend it. Oh, George says, pointing my finger after Garrett's visor test. Ooh, I'll have to go back and look at it. That was cool. TJ says, man, One Jets Drive is killing it. Glad we won an award last year. I'm stoked. And Ryan, congrats for you and the wife on the new Jet fan coming into this world. That's right. I'm trying to repopulate the planet with a bunch of Jet fans. So, Becca, be ready. Scott, Clemons, namaste, or else. I think Clemons is going to stay. Namaste, fly. Oh, I like it. Kay Shepard says, is Corey Davis going to do anything this year? Have him in my dynasty league. I think if he stays healthy for all 17 games, he's going to put up better numbers than Lazard's going to put up. I'm bullish on Corey Davis this year. I really am. I would hold on to him. I don't know who your other receivers are, but I would definitely keep him for this season. GVH says, Quinn and Family Man is like Ryan Family Man. Good content, running through walls like the Kool-Aid Man. Oh, yeah. I love it. Love it. Guy Fisher says, ordered my Legacy jersey. Won't get here till September 5th, number 17. So that's when my Klecko jersey comes in. My Klecko jersey comes in September 5th. My Quinnen Legacy jersey comes in hopefully in the next week or so. I got a notification that it shipped, so I'm super pumped on that. Not really much of a comment, but screw Dolphins. I completely agree. Blaze T says, bro, that video was incredible. I'm so hyped. Dude, the whole collective fan base is going to run through a brick wall. Sorry, One Jets Drive. We're knocking down the building. Sawyer says, the dream come true for both Williams brothers was amazing to hear about. Yeah, I can only imagine playing something or doing some type of business with a family member, and especially one that is so hyper competitive in professional sports. Like, it's such a rare thing to have happen. Like, you get to see the Watt brothers in Pittsburgh. They almost had the third one. If JJ decided to go over there, that would have been friggin' incredible. T Blaze says Method Man cameo was fire. Yes, it was. It was good to see the pictures of that the other day as well. Cuca Lake says, I like the episode. Shows good camaraderie with the team. Yeah, I think you can see, like, obviously the One Jets Drive stuff is going to be a more Jets lens type of docu-series, so there's always going to be hype around that. But it's good to see the way the players are kind of palling around. It feels like there's a lot of energy, good energy around this team. Oh, Fungus Among Us! Thank you for celebrating another 2 months with the membership, brother. Always appreciated. George says he's got my ticket for Wednesday. Hope to get a pick with you, Ryan. Yeah, I have. So I have Wednesday, Thursday, and then the following Wednesday. So I did get a ticket for all 3 days. We have Baby 2 coming on like this Wednesday. So it's only going to be a week after the baby's born. So I don't know if I'm going to actually be there or not. I got tickets in the event that I'm able to make it. So hopefully I get to be there. And if I am, look for me. Would love to take pictures. K. Yeti says, there was an 80s movie called Hard Knocks. It was about a military academy. I'm watching it now, after school special maybe. Has Ferris Bueller's Friend in it and a few other faces. Good times. Interesting. I've never heard of that one. I don't know what you're talking about, but you'll do yogurt, says Randall. Duncan says, Kevin from The Office for the O-line. Yeah, right? Like, I wonder if Rodgers was talking to be like, yo, so you going to be like our left tackle this year, Kev? I can't imagine him like throwing hands. I couldn't imagine playing a full round of golf with him. I would lose my mind. I didn't realize that's who it was until Rodgers said The Office. And I was like, who is that from The Office? I was like, oh my God, it's Kevin. I did not realize. Katie says, back to football. Corey has his best year ahead of him. Can't wait. I completely agree. Scott says, Ryan single-handedly outpopulating the AFC rivals fan base. That is right. We're going to repopulate the entire Northeast and rest of the country with Jet fans, one kid at a time. No, I'm probably done it too. I think that's where we're where we're tapping out. Ferris says, did you see Woody Johnson's tweet that they sold out tickets for camp? I knew they did sell tickets out for camp. The first day they sold out in like 3 minutes. And then I got, Richie actually got tickets for Saturday and Sunday for us. So we got to go this past Saturday, Sunday. I had breakfast with Richie at the Florham Park Diner. And then we were talking again for these next 3 tickets, or next 3 days, the 2 joint practices plus the week after that. And Richie was like, okay, I'm going to try and get tickets. Okay, and you try to get tickets. So we're both trying to get tickets at the same time. I got 3 tabs up. I've got 3 employees that are trying to get tickets at the same time. So we're literally all going. I was able to get 4 tickets for each of the days. And actually one of my coworkers was able to get 4. So I've got a lot of tickets for, I think I've got 8 tickets total for one of the days. I believe it's the 17th. I think it's the Thursday one. So I'll talk with Green Bean and O'Leary, but we'll probably give away some tickets in some capacity. Very much looking forward to it. Pete says, can't wait for this year to start. Dude, cannot happen soon enough. Eric comes in, says, the respect the team has for Rodgers is palpable. Finally feels like grown-ups are in charge at every level of this team. Not even just the veteran players like a Rodgers or like a CJ Mosley or those players. I'm talking like the coaches. Like Saleh seems legit, like a very stoic presence. He's been that for the last 2 years, but very stoic. You see Douglas, like it feels like we have adults in the building, adults at the table, guys that are making the correct football moves, and the culture that they're building is just absolutely incredible. So I'm right there with you, Eric. Blitzcrew says, has there ever been 2 brothers on the same side of the ball on the same team? I think, aren't the Watt brothers both defense? I think they are. I don't know. I actually don't know what, not TJ Watt, whatever the other Watt is. I don't know what he does. So I don't know. Maybe. Crossfire, what's up, dude? Glad to have you in the chat. Anthony D says, I love how Aaron Rodgers embraces the Super Bowl mission. He's on a mission. There's a reason he came to New York, and he believes that the Jets can win a Super Bowl. He wouldn't have signed here if he didn't believe that. There is a portion of his legacy that is lacking because he only has the one ring. He's got all those MVPs, but he's only got the one ring of hardware. And obviously football is a team sport, and it takes that much. The last time he had a top 10 defense, he won the Super Bowl. If this defense can be what it was last year, if the weapons we've provided for Rodgers stay healthy and can perform the way we believe they can perform, this team's going to be incredibly dangerous and incredibly hard to beat. The offensive line is the one portion of this team that I am concerned about. Crossfire says, finally caught Matt live, so y'all know I had to hit him with the members. I love it. I love it. Yeah, I saw Matt was going live. Scott says, I just want to try Kevin's chili. Blitz Crew! Celebrating 8 months of membership. Thank you, dude. Says, Kevin needs to make some of his chili for the team. Right? I agree. Steph says, yo, Hard Knocks gotta be pissed. What are they gonna do that's better than this? It's like watching the news a day later. Yeah, there's definitely a reason why the Jets decided to move their One Jets Drive. It used to get released on, what was it, Tuesdays or Thursdays? And now with Hard Knocks coming out on Tuesdays, 100% they decided to say, okay, yeah, let's get our series out first. Get that hype going. I don't know what we're gonna see from Hard Knocks for the first little chunk here. Like, are we catching the Hall of Fame game, or is it going to be like it's probably going to be the first week of training camp, and then Hall of Fame game will probably be the second episode of One Jets Drive, if I had to guess. Or not One Jets Drive, of Hard Knocks. I'm excited to see whatever it's going to be. Blitz said, as I need to proofread what I type. I do that all the time. I jack stuff up in like important things. Spunky Magoo says season tickets came in clutch. Yeah, you get the hour early selection for those training camp dates. Michael Murphy, stopping in to hit the like button and say it quick. What's up to the peeps? Great episode. Sleep well, boys. Jet up. I just got my new Jets polo that people told me I overspent by $35 at training camp. That's what I get for not looking on the website. It's all right. Jet up, boys and girls. Mitt Flair says the Williams family stuff was good stuff. Yeah, I really like seeing how human the Jets kind of make these players, because when they don that uniform and the helmet, it's very easy to look at them as just an asset and not as the person behind the uniform. And Quinnen, talking about the skin-to-skin action with his daughter and being able to wake up in the middle of the night and feed her, even though it's like a grind and it's hard to do. It's nice to see that family aspect is still with a player, like, because it's very easy to kind of forget that aspect. And it's just their numbers on the field. No, it's actually, this is their life. It's everything they do. And seeing that Quinnen is as family man as he is was really cool. Scott says the Seahawks had a couple of brothers on defense, I think. That I don't know. Oh, Mitt Flair says the McCourties. That's right. Steph says JD put a great team together, top to bottom. Yeah, I mean, look, JD's not without a few misses. That's going to happen, but I would say across the board, when you look at GMs across the NFL, JD is going to have far more hits than he has misses, and I think he is a top half of the league GM, and I would argue, after having offensive and defensive rookie of the year last year, he's right up there in the top 10 GMs. Now we just got to turn those acquisitions and talent that we've gotten into wins, because that's really the one thing holding us back. We don't have the proof of record right there. Tom says fans tried to run JD out of town after Wilson. Yeah, that's ridiculous. I was not one of those fans. I've been a firm JD believer, and I honestly still have a lot of faith in Zach as well. As much as I did not want to see him start a game for this season, I am a huge, huge fan of Joe Douglas and everything that he's done so far. I don't even fault him for like the selection of Becton, Elijah Moore, Denzel Mims. Like, I understand there being some misses in there, or at least like maybe long shots to rebound, or hopeful players that can rebound. But it's not for a lack of talent, I don't think. I think all those players are actually legit. Hopefully Zach can turn around. Zach's looked really good in camp. so far. Ja says, is Quinnen a top 2 defensive tackle, if not number 1? Yeah, I think he definitely is. I mean, you're talking Chris Jones, you're talking Aaron Donald, you're talking Quinnen Williams. Those guys are the cream of the crop. And there's a lot of good ones across the league. I mean, heck, 4 or 5 of them this offseason got paid a whole lot of money. But Quinnen Williams, there's a reason they waited kind of so long. And yes, there were some other pieces that had to get, moved around and whatnot. But Quinnen was deserving of the highest contract of all those players. 100%. Scott says, all Rodgers wants to win is another Super Bowl. Can't believe this is our reality. Yeah, it feels weird. Feels really weird, right? Oh, Crossfire! Thank you, Crossfire. Gifted 5 Jets Talk memberships. Very cool. Travis picks one up. 1969 NY Jets gets one. Rob gets one. Mike Murphy gets one. Scott gets one. Make sure you drop some JETS in the chat for Crossfire and all our new members in there. Love seeing it. Thank you. Anthony says, Sims spoke at length about the Jets on his podcast today. Yeah, Sims was at the Hall of Fame game and they were talking about... Oh, who was it they were talking about? I don't know. I saw the tweet earlier. You're going to have to let me know what Sims was speaking about on his podcast because I didn't hear it. Spunky says, Jets versus Eagles Super Bowl. I think the Eagles are definitely the favorite in the NFC to go back to the Super Bowl, and I think the Jets are squarely in the conversation in like the top 4 teams. I mean, you're talking Chiefs, Bills, Jets, and then probably like the Bengals. You can argue the Dolphins. You can argue, I mean, damn, that whole AFC is loaded. I put money on the Jets to win the Super Bowl. Never done that. So that's my confidence. Anthony says a good couple of notes. He said that Zach is so confident and calm right now and so happy that Rodgers is here. And he said that Rodgers is jacked right now. Rodgers looks jacked. Rodgers looks like he might be in the best physical condition that I've seen him in. I mean, not that I've been checking out his physical condition for the last 18 years, but it seems like for a guy that's damn near 40 years old, he does not act like it. And Zach being confident and calm, you're seeing that in practice. Like, I would say there has been no greater jump in production on the offensive side of the ball than like the increase that I've seen from Zach Wilson. The confidence, even in training camp, he wants to go deep for Hardman, and then all of a sudden he sees like, okay, the safety's peeling over that way, and he takes off and runs. He's using the checkdowns, the dump offs, and he's hitting them. Now, obviously, you're not allowed to hit the quarterback in training camp, so a little bit of that is, hey, he doesn't have to deal with pressure yet. So I do want to see him more in some of these preseason games, and particularly the joint practices both against the Panthers and against the Bucs over these next 2 weeks. Very proud of him, though. Steph says, Rodgers knows what this means to his legacy, and even more knows he can start a dynasty. If he can reset Zach, then he will get credit for that too, and nobody, not even Brady, can say that. I mean, for Brady, you can say, Garoppolo and Brissett were behind him, and, Castle to some extent, but Castle, sort of fizzled out over in Kansas City. I think if Zach ends up being fixed after the 2 years that we saw from Zach, I mean, very bad quarterback. You're talking 32nd ranked quarterback for the last 2 seasons. And he has all the physical tools, but it seems to be between the ears that's getting him all screwed up. So if Rodgers is able to reset that and Zach decides to be our quarterback, for the next however many years after Rodgers is here, I think it's so cool to be able to see that growth and that type of friendship. I would love to see Rodgers become like our quarterback coach after he retires, something along those lines, stay within the Jets organization. And yeah, Rodgers or Brady can't say that he turned around a quarterback that was otherwise failing. Like Zach had one of the highest grades in terms of like physical prowess coming into the draft that year. And if Rodgers is able to turn it around and Zach can hit his full potential, the Jets are going to be a scary good team. Love it. Giga says, how you doing? Great first episode. Yeah, the chat's ready to run through a wall. Rob says, just watched one Jets drive. Love the vibe of this team, man, especially the defense. Keeping players together goes overlooked. Hype level through the damn roof. I 100% agree. 110% agree. You have these players on defense. You look at what the Bills did. The Bills have kept their defense together for like 4 years, and it shows. They can play together. Our defense is so young, with the exception of like CJ Mosley and like Carl Lawson to some extent. Those guys are our vets back there, and you need to have a good mixture of vets, but the core of our defense is so young, they're going to stay together for at least these next 4 years. And they're going to get better and better each season. This team isn't giving up 13 points a game. Damn right. Blitzcrew says, I have come to terms that JD knows more about football than me. I trust him. Yep, I'm right there with you. Brian says, I'm an Izzy fan now that I found out me and him went to the same high school. Hope he and Brees become great 1-2 punch. Let's go. Rail splitters. Let's go Jets. Ah, very cool. I went to high school with one professional football player, although I think he wound up getting cut. It was a kicker for Minnesota at one point. I don't think he ever actually played a snap in the league. Anthony D asking, did anyone ask Douglas about Quan? I thought A-Rod gave back money. I have not seen Douglas asked about Quan. Now that they're looking at linebackers, I'm a little frustrated that we didn't bring back Quan. But who knows? I trust Douglas more than my intuition. K. Yeti says, true that. I know it was Cleveland and not a real team, but we shut down their whole scheme 13-0. I mean, it helped that we had the missed field goal by them too. But yes. George says, JETS, how do the free subscriptions work? Crossfire chooses. I don't think Crossfire chooses. I think it's just people in the chat have to claim it. So you probably have to be paying attention in the chat and then click on something when it pops up. I believe that's how that works. Fungus Among Us says, the chat has great manners. I love it. We have a really good chat. This is a family-friendly chat for the most part. I would say we've got a few sideways things on here. Andy says, how is a rookie center doing in camp? Or how is that rookie center doing in camp going to be big if he's good? So right now, Saleh sort of, or at least Connor Hughes said something along the lines of, we don't expect Tippmann to start, but Tippmann played every snap in the first preseason game against Cleveland, and he's looking good in practice right now. It could be a matter of time. Just a matter of time. Jet Engine comes in, says, Zach usually looks good in practice. He looks good until pass rush is live, then turns into skittish little lady in the pocket. It is just what it is. Yeah, you got to see him with pressure on him. That's the biggest concern. I thought he looked pretty decent in the preseason game, but again, limited amount of time. Hopefully he doesn't trip over himself when he runs for a first down the next time. Mud Vials! What's good, dude? Ooh, nice new logo over there. It's different. Mud Vials says, Ryan, what's up, man? Feeling blessed today. I'm 26 today. Happy birthday. And I can't wait to see Jets practice against the Panthers both days this week. How you think Zach will be after Rodgers retires? Let's effing go, Jets. Hey, look, he's got a lot of time to learn. And if Rodgers is going to be here the next 2-3 years and Zach can sit under him for at least that long, 2 years, and then maybe he signs a Band-Aid contract, I would love it. I'd absolutely, absolutely love it. Steph becomes a member of the channel. Thank you so much, Steph. Make sure you drop some JETS in the chat. Let's see. Where did I see this? I saw Blitz Crew gifting 5 memberships. Blitz Crew, you're the man. Who we got? We got Ferris Grimm becomes a member. Johnny Jimenez, K. Yeti, Brian Lemos, Josh Sterling. Love it. I want to see all those emojis in the chat, boys and girls. Have fun with it. I see Scott in the chat. Scott says, Jet Engine is right, unfortunately. There was a video breakdown of what happened to Zach on botched third down from the Browns game. Got skittish and didn't let the play develop. Yeah, I think we got to wait and see what we get out of the Panthers game. I think we got to wait and see what we get out of like the rest of the preseason from Zach. But I like what we're starting to see. But again, it has to be the pressure is the biggest concern with him. Darrell24. Thank you so much for the super chat. Discount double check. Oh, man, I love it. I love it. Jet Engine follows that up saying, I'm so old I played with Craig Erickson and Chris T. Jones in high school. I'm not exactly sure what that means. I'm sorry, that one is going over my head. Slim goes, how long does the membership last? I think it's a month. I think it's 1 month membership when you get gifted one. Pretty sure. But if you'd like to become a member after that, just click the little join button. Certainly don't have to. I'll make content for you guys anyway. But would love to be able to do this full time. Anthony D. Ryan, Quan has been one of the best weak side linebackers, and he was a stable piece last year. Yeah, I really wish we brought him back. That one was frustrated. Steph says, if I get a free membership, then you can come to lot G14 and get free jet fuel. Very cool. Well, you just got the membership, right? I don't think it was a free one. I think you just paid for it. But either way, thank you. Nonetheless. Slim says, so why did my membership go away? I don't know. What are you talking about? Slim, could it have been gifted in the Talking Jets channel and not the Jets Talk channel? I don't know if that's maybe the confusion here. Anthony says, if you guys want to get hyped for Tittman, Play Like a Jets film review on him is phenomenal. Ooh, Luke does a great job. I got to see if Luke will come on. Jet Engine says, I vaguely remember being 26. LOL. Halfback mutt. I'm 33. What was I doing at 26 years old? I think I was just working in the pro shop at that point. Luigi Mario says, are we excited for Hard Knocks tomorrow? Yeah, you're damn right we are. So we're going to be doing the Talking Jets panel. We're going to close that panel at like 9:50. So that way we could watch Hard Knocks, and then we're going to come back live after Hard Knocks and talk about it as a group. Myself, O'Leary, Green Bean, and obviously the whole chat. Hope you guys are there for us to talk. Can't wait. Jigga says, anyone going to the joint practices? I have tickets to all 3 of the next practices, but I'm having my kid on Wednesday, so I don't know if I'm actually going to them yet. Ryan, are you going to get angry at us if we don't retweet your stream? I mean, no. You don't have to. I would love for you to retweet the stream, though. I should put a little hashtag Jets in the title of the stream so that way maybe it gets noticed by other people. I haven't done that yet. So the more you share it, the more it helps, but you certainly don't have to do it. Only if you wish. Jason saying, how about Richie on One Jets Drive? Crazy. He looks so good. Getting all hyped up. Had me ready to run through a brick wall. Richie brings the energy. George says, if Aaron Rodgers does a discount double check, the fans will lose their shit. I wonder if does he still do it? I don't think he's the spokesperson for State Farm anymore. I hope he does. King Lowski says, they saved the best for last, that sweet toe tap catch from Garrett Wilson. Jeremy Ruckert had a nice toe tap too on Monday's practice. Donald Johnson says, my membership is up, gotta renew. Donald, I see you're on Facebook right now. If you hop over to YouTube and join the membership, you get some cool emojis. So I know there's some sort of membership thing on the Facebook side of things, but if you want to kind of interact with the chat a little bit and have a little bit more, YouTube's kind of where it's at. Scott says Hard Knocks will be more drama and narratives instead of strictly Jets porn. Yeah, we'll probably get a little bit more of a objective look maybe at the Jets with drama on it as opposed to a Jets kind of hype video. So it might be a little different. See? Thought I was right on that. Edward drops in. What's up, Ed? He says, it's our year. I'm 62. Gotta win before I die. Hey, you got plenty of years left. Don't you worry. I don't want you going at 63. Hang around a little bit longer. Darrell dropping in with a super chat. Discount double check. I'm going to have to do the discount double check every time a $2 donation comes in. I love it. Steph says, Luke is the man with film study. Luke is really good at the film study. I like talking to Luke. Steph says, when I was 26, I was stationed in Turkey watching the Jets at 3 p.m. play in the AFC Championship game. Thank you for your service. Shadow hops in. Shadow says, Packers fan here, but a Rodgers supporter. Always thought he would thrive with a team that would build around him and get him the players to make the team dominant. I'm glad to have you here. Thank you so much for hopping in the chat. I love hearing Packers fans' takes on Aaron Rodgers because we're going to look through everything through a green lens. And while you guys are looking through a green lens, you can be a little more objective with some of the things you guys maybe didn't like about Rodgers or maybe areas that he might be able to get a little bit better in or things to watch out for. So I love it. Gator McCluskey, I love your edit of the me, Matt, Green Bean, and Richie picture, by the way. Loved it. Thought it was really funny. What happens to Strevler? Does he end up getting brought back to the practice squad? I could see Belichick grabbing him. I think they're going to probably try to bring him onto the practice squad. I don't want to see him ever play a game. He throws meatballs. As much as I really like Strevler, he is literally Tim Tebow. Wears the same number, plays a similar style of ball. I like him. Love the beard, but not necessarily a player you want to have to rely on in a pinch. Duncan says, I think there's a chance Cobb doesn't make the 53. I think that is possible. I don't know. It might be one of those things where it's like, hey, we want Cobb, but we're going to, cut him in training camp, and then you don't have to guarantee his salary if you sign him after week 1. And I think he would always come back if we wanted him back. But I think that's ultimately going to be a decision left up to Rodgers. We're going to say, hey, what weapons do we feel most comfortable with? Obviously, Cobb is going to be one of those, but does Brownlee make that last slot as a special teams guy? It looks like they like Malik Taylor, at least the way they're feeding him the ball in practice. So I don't know. We'll see. Cuca Lake makes a great point. Says Strev is an injury wave. He will be back. Won't count towards the 90-man roster. Same with Hamza Nassereddine. So that's kind of cool. Shadow says discount double check is the title belt. Just so you guys and gals know. So I love the discount double check. Rodgers Douglas. Thank you for the super chat, dude. He says, nice to be able to raise our kids as Jet fans and not have CPS called for child abuse. Yeah, right? Like now that the Jets are finally like starting to turn that corner, I felt bad. We had Shay last June and I'm like, oh man, I brought her home and I literally watched Flight 2022 or Flight 22 with her like wedged between like, my legs just propped up. And I'm thinking like, man, I was a Jet fan because of my dad. And like I got to go through some rough times, but it was also the best times of like when I think back to my childhood, my greatest memories are going to Giant Stadium for the Jet games, the tailgates. I was at the Monday Night Miracle, the game that we beat the Packers in to get into the playoffs in 2002. That's a game I'll never forget. Lots of great memories. So it's okay. Even though we're, putting our kids through lifelong potential hell, it's okay. They love it. I know I did. Ed says, if it comes down to a field goal in the AFC Championship game, at least with Greg the Leg Zuerlein, we're going to make it to the Super Bowl. Dude, he's been automatic in camp. Like, the only kick I've seen him miss was a 63-yarder. Blitzcrew says, I like Streveler, but time to move on to someone with more potential down the road. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really know why Streveler's on the team. Like, it's definitely not for his quarterbacking ability. Maybe he's kind of like a glue guy or something. Like, there's literally every quarterback I've ever watched outside of probably Tim Tebow is better than Streveler from a throwing the ball perspective. If you want to have this like wildcat quarterback, it'd be kind of cool, but it'd be nice to have like the threat of being able to throw the ball. Scott, thank you so much for the super chat. He says, which celebration is your favorite? JJ Sledgehammer, Quincy Uppercut, or Quinnen Sack Dance? Will you do whichever is your favorite? Ooh, okay. I do. Oh, the Sledgehammer's cool. Oh, but the Uppercut's cool. I still love the discount double check. I don't know if the discount double check is something that Rodgers is actually going to do, because it's like the, WWE. I mean, it's the WWE belt, but is he like forbidden from like doing the discount? Everyone calls it the discount double check because that's what they, did in the commercial. The Quinnen Sack Dance. I would say the Quincy Uppercut is a lot of fun because usually he's coming in like a heat-seeking missile. And if he's doing the uppercut, it's because he just laid the wood. So I will, should I do that? The uppercut? I guess I could do the uppercut. I don't know if it's going to look good. I'm going to look like a scrub trying to do this. It's like, all right, I just got a sack. Boom. And now, I don't know if you could see that. Probably hopping behind my little frame there. That's okay. Get me excited. Blitzcrew coming in says, would you rather keep Malik or Brownlee than Cobb? Would rather keep Malik or Brownlee than Cobb. Hopefully Aaron Rodgers develops that repertoire with some of the young guys to make that happen. Yeah, I don't know how like strong I know he's best friends with Cobb. I still felt like Cobb was like a lock to make this team, but I don't know. Maybe not. Jetted Engine says, if Tim Boyle makes you irrelevant in football, it's time to research your career change. Yeah, I would say Streveler. From a quarterback perspective, I have no idea how this guy's in the league. I very much like Streveler, like from a look perspective and like the fan hype around him, but quarterback-wise, not great. Steph says, AVT is not getting enough love here. As he goes, we go. He is easily our best offensive lineman and our most versatile offensive lineman. Like, if we need a tackle, AVT's kicking out the tackle. If they ask him, they say, oh, hey, we need it. We need it. Oh, Darrell! Discount double check, motherfucker! Let's go! I love the discount double check. I'll do it every time. Every time. Luigi says, Aaron and Sauce joint handshake is top tier. Yeah, I really like that. And watching them ash it on some other dude's head is like really funny. I enjoy it. Scott, I'll do anything. It's ridiculous. Sorry. Thank you. Andy says, the reason you don't see the discount double check is because Rodgers only does it on rushing touchdowns or home runs in softball games. Okay, so yeah, I want to see him run at the end zone and start doing the discount double check. And I'm going to be jumping up and down doing it with him. Quinnen has the best celebration. Yeah, someone called it the ladder the other day, and I didn't put two and two together that that's actually what he was doing. He was climbing the ladder. I thought he was just like throwing his fists up in the air. I like the ladder. Party with Peg and Artie says, gonna be 60 this month. I've been waiting 50 years for a team like this. Happy early birthday. I've been waiting like 20 years. I'm 33. I'll be 34 in November. Man, it goes quick. Donald says, oh yeah, good question. What's up with Dalvin Cook? So I haven't heard anything other than some of like the people, talking about like, oh, the Jets are still the favorites to sign Cook. But I'll believe it when I see it. I'm still at this point where I would not sign him right now if I'm the Jets. I want to see Carter, I want to see Bam, and I want to see Izzy go through training camp, at least through the Panthers game. If you want to make a decision after the Panthers game, that's fine. If you want to wait till the next one. I don't think Cook has to work out and be in camp right now. Like, you can decide if your running backs are good to go. You can decide if Hall is ready to come back from his ACL injury. If there's any concern with Hall and you're not going to be able to run him right now, then I think you consider Cook. I want him to want to be here. I want him to come out and say, I want to be a New York Jet. Like, I mean, he says highly likely, he would like to do it. Jet Engine says, State Farm sponsoring this video? Nah. Should have looked into it, right? Steph says, this energy is everything. Let's keep this going all the way to the Canyon of Heroes. Manny says, Ryan, we need a custom Rodgers emoji. Ooh, okay. Give me some ideas. What type of Rodgers emoji do you want to see? Because I can do something like that. I could do like the number 8 chain that he has. That could be in there. I think there's a wedge of cheese emoji already that like wouldn't have to be a membership type emoji. Let me know. Think of a good Rodgers emoji and I'd be all about it. Yo, it's Vin. Celebrates 17 months of membership. What's up, dude? He says, just finished the episode. I effing love this team. Dude, like, we got 200 people in here ready to run through a brick wall. Let's effing go, boys and girls. Kenzie, first super chat. Thank you, Kenzie. Says, discount. Oh, here we go. Discount double check, motherfucker. Oh. You'll get me to do it every time. So easy. Jason says, I'm 47, been waiting since the 80s for this. It's got to happen. Dude, we saw it happen with Brady. We saw it happen with Stafford. We saw it happen with Manning. Come on, let's have it happen with Rodgers. Make it happen. Edward Ziff coming and says, AJ McCarron's out there for us as a third stringer. Interesting. So I didn't realize he was still available. He's someone I would consider. I don't think the Jets are going to carry 3 quarterbacks, though. I really think the Jets are going to carry Rodgers and Zach, and then Boyle will be cut, put on the practice squad, or just cut, and they'll know that they'll be able to bring him back at any point, because I don't think Boyle's signing with any other team. Like, I don't feel like Strevler or Boyle are going to get plucked off our practice squad. I feel like there's going to be other quarterbacks for that. As much as I would be fine with AJ McCarron, I'd rather someone that knows the offense. But I don't think if you have to rely on whoever our third quarterback would have to be, because Zach is going to come in as number 2, I think. If you had to rely on anyone other than Zach, the season's over, I think. At least if Rodgers has to miss significant time. Hopefully that's not the case, though. Scott says Quinnen's sack dance comes from him dancing with his niece in music from the movie Frozen. Not even kidding. Oh, that is awesome. I did not know that. Tom Cruise, Rodgers with sunglasses. Except Tom Cruise is like 5'4". Rodgers with like Maverick aviators. That'd be kind of cool. Yo, it's Vin says Rodgers smoking his sauce handshake. Yeah, right. Like maybe we do like I wonder if I could do like a Cheech and Chong type thing for them. Rodgers smoking a vape. Could do something like that. Hank G says, great first episode. Party with Peg and Artie says, Jets cheesehead. Ooh, maybe I should make the pepperoni pizza cheesehead that I have. That would actually be kind of cool. James says, episode gave me a new appreciation for offensive line coach Keith Carter. Yeah, not that I forget that he's here. Like I remember that he's here, but he's just not the personality. I guess maybe he's not as prominent as an offensive coordinator or defensive coordinator. But I do like that he's here. And hopefully we get to see a big turnaround from some of our guys that may have otherwise underperformed in the past. Johnny says, hearing Rodgers say win the East and bring home a playoff game to MetLife was everything. Yeah, dude, I want a home playoff game in the worst way. I really want to come out and just shellac Buffalo week 1. Let them know who's boss. Slim says, I think with a new quarterback rule, you have to carry 3. So it still counts, or I think you can carry 3 on game day. So you could probably pull one up from the practice squad for game day, but it would still count towards your 53-man roster. So we were talking about this the other day. We actually looked it up. So I would still only carry 2. I would not carry that third one. Jet Engine says, hey, some other YouTube channel was playing your video from Twitter on his channel, got over 5,000 views. He credited you, but get those royalties. Jet Engine, really? Who did that? I'm curious who did it. Manny says, iced out chain with the one that Sauce gave him. Yeah, so I could do an iced out chain for the Rodgers one. That makes sense. Fungus Among Us says Tom Cruise is 5'0". Jet Engine, Becton didn't get a second on one Jets drive. We did see, I think we saw something in like the flashes of players that they showed maybe towards the end. I'm concerned with Becton. He looked good in practice from like his one-on-one matchups. He looked good in his reps during the game against the Browns. But it appears to me, just being at practice and observing, I'm not close to Becton. I cannot hear what he's saying. I cannot tell what he's actually doing. But just from an observation standpoint, it appears as though he looks like an outsider and doesn't feel like he's a part of this team right now. Like, I took a picture, I posted it to my Twitter, and I said something along the lines of, like, Becton's on a knee. He's been kind of off to the side a lot, and that wasn't in reference to his injury. It was in reference to, like, it feels like he's not here. And maybe that's wrong of me to say, but I do think that there's something weird going on with Becton. I want to see him earn starter reps, but I get the vibe that's not necessarily in the cards. Mitt Flair says Sauce and Rodgers definitely going to smoke a blunt when they retire. Yeah, I mean, Sauce doesn't smoke or drink. So imagine they win a Super Bowl and Sauce just gets like baked ziti. Fungus Among Us says home playoff game would be Fireman Ed, Fireman Ed, Fireman Ed. I wish I was able to show the emojis on screen when that happens. John says Buffalo will be tough, especially with Becton busting as usual. Hopefully he doesn't bust. Blitzcrew says an anthropomorphic number 8 lighting up for the emoji. Anthropomorphic number 8. Now I got to look up what that word means because that's a very long word and you sound very smart, Blitzcrew. And I'm going to pretend I know what that word means. I'm going to say, yeah, I'll definitely do that. Giga says, there's a huge scene with him hugging Method Man. That's about it. Oh, a hug scene with him hugging. Hug scene? I guess that's what it was. KD says, if we kept Elijah Moore, what number do you think Rodgers would have taken if 8 wasn't available? Elijah Moore, you're changing your number. That's what would have happened. Because he wasn't going to take 12. I think as much as it would have been cool to see him wear 12 and feel like you could see, especially with the retro jerseys now, that would have been so cool. I like the respect that he gave to Namath, though. I understand him not picking that number. Just End the Stigma says Becton was the first to dap up method after the breakdown. I didn't catch it. Mindy says, Ryan, congratulations on Baby 2. Since you went with Shea for number 1, are you going with MetLife for number 2? We did talk about Meadow for Meadowlands. That's not what we're going with, though. I don't think there's any Jet connotation that I can think of with the name we picked. Possibly with the middle name. We actually have 3 middle names that we're working on. We're workshopping it. And we used the Google number generator. We picked all 3. And one of them sort of has a slight Jet tint to it, but I don't know if it's actually going to be what we go with. Yo, it's Vin says, was geeking out when Clemons was doing yoga. Yeah, when he was doing yoga and he just like very stoically, I feel like that's the only way he's not like a raging axe murderer. He has to do yoga in order to like compartmentalize all the built up, pent up rage that he has. Jet Engine says, channel is called Zach Wilson Clips. Video has 6,000 views now. In all fairness, he included a clip here. Just FYI. Included a clip here. I'll check it out. I'll be honest, I don't mind people posting stuff, and if he gives me credit, it's okay too. All good. Johnny Jimenez says, they showed Becton dapping up Method Man. Yes. Luigi says, if they need mushrooms, I know a guy. Oh, man. Blitz Crew saying to make it human-like, anthropomorphic. So you were talking about me making, was it the number 8? Number 8 lighting up. All right, I'll have to think about that and how to do that with an emoji. See, look at you guys. Jet Engine saying, it means human-like or human-shaped. A human-shaped 8? Is that what we're talking about right now? I don't know what a human-shaped 8 means. Slim says, got season tickets when we were sure who our quarterback would be. Now my tickets quadrupled in worth. Yeah, dude. You knew we were going to get a quarterback. It was just a matter of if it was going to be Carr or Rodgers or make some massive trade for another quarterback like a Lamar or something like that. But you knew we were getting someone. Edward Ziff says, you need a Shadow Realm. Yeah, I don't really ban anyone on here. And Shadow Realm's kind of like, I guess I eject people, right?
That's it! You're out of here!
The ejection was the original Shadow Realm. NY Jets fan says, with the awesome run game, you keep Allen off the field, you tire out the defense, and allow Rodgers to pick them apart. I can't wait. Yeah, that's kind of what the Jets have done in the past. They kind of dominate the run game and then force Allen into bad throws. KD says, Clemons is to us what Goose was to Baltimore in the most ass-backwards way. I don't know what that means. The only Goose I know is Maverick. I don't think that means anything in Baltimore. Scott says, align your chakras or he will align them for you. Cracks knuckles. Jet Engine says, link, not clip. What was your other comment? Human-like. No. What was the other thing you said? You said something else in here. That's all right. I don't know what you're talking about, but it's cool. Yo, it's Vin says, non-football question, did you see Oppenheimer yet? Yes, I did. Really cool movie. I've always done, not always done, but in middle school and high school, I did a bunch of book reports on Oppenheimer and the atomic bomb drop, and it was very cool to see the mindset behind Oppenheimer, because I didn't know that he didn't want to drop the bomb. So it was very cool. Svenjo says, who do you think will be our starting running back week 1? I think it's going to be Bam. As much as I want it to be Carter, I think they're going to slowly bring Carter. Not Carter. As much as I want to see it be Breece, I think they're going to slow him along. Maybe a better question would be who gets the most touches week 1? Because I could see Breece playing a little bit, but maybe he only gets like 10 rushes week 1 and they lean on some of the other guys and they start to bring him, a little bit slower. Johnny says, Aaron Rodgers sounds like a good middle name. We did talk about Erin, E-R-I-N. Scott loves the chicken. Fungus Mungus loves the eject. Love it, love it. Baby 2 Skyler. I do like that name a lot, actually. That was a name that was on my original baby list from Shay's name list. Jet Engine says, working on getting permission to fly up for the Chargers game. Still tickets left. Yeah, we still have tickets left. I have to look. I don't know. We still have some left. Yeah, you should be fine, at least for now. We'll kind of talk about it more as we get into it. We haven't really pushed it super hard. It's just kind of like living out there. But yeah, we hope you come. Love to see you. Green Bean Matt and I want to see you guys. Always talk to you on the forums. Party with Peg and Artie. They mentioned find their identity. What is it? Smash Mouth or air attack? I think it's going to be a little bit of both. I think they're going to want to dominate teams with the running game. And they'll play off of that with play action. You'll see the tight ends take advantage of it. You'll see some deep shots with Rodgers. It's weird, though. I have not seen many good deep throws at camp. Like, you see them make the attempt, but they're not necessarily... I don't feel like we have that player. Like, Hardman, to me, might be our best deep threat. I mean, I guess Garrett Wilson could be. I don't know. I feel like we don't have that traditional, like, blazing fast deep threat guy on the roster right now. Or at least I haven't really watched it super closely. Seahawks had Diggs brothers. Did they? Kelly says, the best part of One Jets Drive was the beginning when Rodgers huddled everyone up. Yeah, the conversation they had at the beginning was very cool to watch. Malik Taylor or Jason Brownlee for wide receiver 6. Yeah, I think they used Malik Taylor in practice a lot this week. If you had asked me before this past weekend, I would have said Jason Brownlee for sure. And I think Brownlee is the most, I don't say the most exciting, but I like him a lot of the two. I would pick Brownlee personally, but we've seen guys come out of nowhere and play in camp well, and hopefully he can put it together in preseason as well. But I'd love to see Brownlee become like what Mims was supposed to be for us. Kelly says, Bam can block the best. Yeah, I know. I don't know. I know Cook's not a good blocker. That's what everyone keeps saying, is Dalvin Cook's not a great blocker. So bringing him in, while he wouldn't get as many snaps necessarily, or he might tip off defenses because if he's in, then maybe it's not a pass blocking down and it's like definitely going to be a rundown unless you have like a quick play action type play. But again, you'd still want Cook to be able to block. So if Bam's going to be able to block, I think Bam is the most dynamic of the backs. I mean, it'd be cool if Izzy was like the number 2 guy, but I don't know if that's going to be him right away. I want to see Carter bounce back, but I don't know if they're going to rely on him squarely for the beginning part of the season. Jets fan says, is anyone going to Jets versus Giants game? I am not. I will be at a... What do I got? I got something for the preseason. I think it's our friend's bridal shower, so I get to be on baby duty. And then it's actually that same friend's wedding on the Jets-Giants game. So I'm going to be sitting there with like YouTube TV, like on my phone, and like I got to try and pretend like I'm watching the ceremony and stuff, but you know, clearly I'm going to be watching the Jet game. And I got to try not to be like, does anyone have any objections? And then the Jets score, I'll be like, yes! I mean, no! My wife would kill me. But the groom is a Jets fan. The bride is a Giants fan. So if I jump up cheering, he's going to get excited. She, not so much. I might get yelled at for that. Don D says, seeing Michael Clemons meditating and sitting on the yoga mat is scary. Yeah, he's like super intimidating, even when he's like in his namaste pose. VR says, Zeke rumors, does he fit what we are doing? I haven't heard many legitimate rumors about Zeke. I would be fine with any one of the running backs that are kind of out there on the market, meaning Zeke, Hunt, Cook, or Fournette. Those four, whichever one wants to be a Jet, whichever one wants to buy in, I'm cool with it. I think Zeke is definitely more cooked, but I think he can block, and I think he would be like punishing on the goal line. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure which one we're going to get to see. I do think they're looking at running backs, but I think they're gonna give our guys every chance they can to compete and be the guy. All right, boys and girls. It's been a lot of fun. Overall, loved what we got out of episode 1 of One Jets Drive. Tomorrow is the Talkin' Jets panel, 8 o'clock to 9:50. Hard Knocks comes on at 10 o'clock. We're going to watch Hard Knocks on our own, and then we're going to reconvene, the three of us, myself, O'Leary, and Green Bean, and all of you in the chat for a good old recap of episode 1 of Hard Knocks. So make sure you guys tune in for that. Make sure you hit that like button on the way out of here if you've enjoyed everything you've been listening to. If you're hyped up on everything Jets, hit that like button. Boys and girls, it's been a lot of fun. I'll see you guys tomorrow. This is Jets Talk, signing off. Jets!